Yes, yo! Yes, man. That part there. Yes.
Well done.
We can do whatever you want, and we can do whatever you like. Loving you is my kind of vibe. We can do whatever you want.
I think Wiley knows he won't reply because he knows he's thinking about the money. That's why he's talking about money. Yeah, because he knows what it is. And as well, Wiley has a deeper understanding of how corporate world works.
Yeah.
I think he rejected a lot of it as well. That's
That's
why
he's
in trouble right now, because he called out certain people in the industry who make a lot of money from him and others, but he just did it in a completely wrong way.
Yeah.
Just labelled a whole race of people like he should never have done that. But in there somewhere is some truth of, you know, the exploitation that happens within the industry. But
and I feel like he could have phrased it better, but he could have phrased it better. But by him saying what he said, even though he could have said it better, people have learnt some shit from what he said. Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, yes, people feel targeted. No, it's not right. But we still see the message within what you've said. And I feel like it was good to get a message like this across to the masses, so that you realise there's so much more going on. Because I've seen bare conversations, and I've had bare conversations about how people do you dirty in the industry. You know, like that. And I feel like we need to be more clued up about this shit when we're trying to get into these areas. Do you get what I mean?
I mean, I agree with you. Just that, like, I feel like indirectly, in going on his rant and essentially sacrificing his career, he's educated a lot of people, and I think people will be going into these meeting rooms now with that in mind. Like, if you know that people are getting done dirty based on Wiley's rants, when you now go to sign your little deal,
you're gonna take time.
You're gonna be looking for the small print that's like, you don't want to end up like that. So he has done a service to the up and comers in the game that are going into the industry. To let them know how it can be. And I think he's probably going to encourage a lot of people to go independent. I
watched a big Narstie interview with ZEZE blood as well, and I'm like, this further proves Narstie what I've been thinking all this time.
Knowing
your worth. Our worth. Yes, yo, yes, man. That part there. Yes.
Well done.
If a promoter's going to give me £15,000 to come and perform for 45 minutes, he's not doing that if he's not going to make double his money.
Right, yeah.
No, who in their right mind is going to part with even 10 grand or 5 grand on someone to only make £200? You do that to double your money. It's the basic laws of business. What you put in, you're supposed to double or triple. So, me as a young artist, I said to myself, if a promoter's willing to give me money to come to your venue because you can get people, what about if I stop being a lazy fat fuck and put on the event myself? When the Big Narstie show came, they offered me the Big Narstie show. This guy smoking loads of weed. Yeah, do you want to have a TV show? That sounds sick. I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, man, we'll give you 8 bags. At the initial starting of the Big Narstie show, they would have gave me, worked out to be £1 grand to £2 grand an episode, 6 episodes.
That's pretty shit.
Of course, but then now you got to think. As soon as I told people that I've been offered a TV show, no one thought about the money. Everyone thought about the opportunity of a TV show. Yeah, you're gonna have your face on Channel 4, blood. Where? But no one, because of, remember, 100 years, they've come to poor places where great talent is found, where people have got great talent, but no financial power to put their talent in a place of sight. So think about it. If I offered to buy your phone right now, your phone is worthless. You have not got one price I can give you for that phone, because it's priceless. All right, but let your mum be homeless and your dog be on the street and haven't eaten for 4 days, and you haven't eaten for 4 days. That phone has got a price. Right now, I can give you £80 for that phone, and you'll take it because you have to eat, and so does your mum.
Yeah.
This is what the industry has done to us for years. they've come to Hitman where 50 grand looks like life-changing money and taking your whole content worth till you don't even own your name anymore. Do you get what I mean?
I feel like I'm in church, mate. I tell you, I go on.
It's true.
It's
You get
so
what I
true.
mean?
But
Yes,
wait,
know your worth.
I lost the rhythm, Sarah.
Know your worth, man.
Oh, man.
It's a must. It's a must. So it's happening more and more. More and more people who have been in the game for a long time are dropping gems. Narstie's gems were so sick.
Oh, listen.
I could watch that interview again.
Yes, agreed. I'm going to be fair. I feel like I have to.
Shout out to ZEZE for that.
Yes, man.
And there's so much talent within our culture. And Narstie's right. Like, because we've never seen that kind of money before, we do say yes to the first thing on the
jump
table.
up in it.
Well, you see that money, but you don't see the cut they're taking.
Well, yeah,
So
which
you
is
think
why
your cut is sick, but you're like,
it's true. Like, yeah, that 25k for that one little thing that you've been asked to do sounds like a lot for a very little amount of work. But in the grand scheme of things, like Narstie said, ask them what the budget is.
Exactly. When he said that,
When he said, "Can I see the budget?"
So it started off with, oh, raw. Man, I'll give you 8 bags for the big Narstie show to do 4 episodes. I was like, yeah, that's cool. But remember, you know, they just see the fat weed smoking guy at the front thinking I haven't got a legal team. The question they've never heard from a person like us is, raw, thank you for the opportunity on the TV show, but what's the budget? They've never heard that word before. I want to know what the budget is. So, forget 8 grand. How about 14 grand? Nah, it's all right. I'd rather see the budget. Forget 14 grand. How about 16k for the episode, for the season? Nah, it's all right. I'd rather see the budget. Oh, let's stop playing all these silly games then. How about 22k for the season? It's cool. Talk to my solicitor. We'll sort out the paperwork. I will just leave it as that.
I was like, raw.
I said, no. Can we see the budget, please?
Yes, man.
Yes,
Sick
because
guy.
if you're gonna give me 25k isolated
It's a big
offer,
budget.
yeah, that sounds like a lot. But if the budget is $500,000,
yeah, that's a mad.
imagine how much of a dickhead they are taking you for. If the
Exactly.
budget is $500,000 and you're giving me 25k and I'm the star.
I feel like you should never take the first offer, but now it's like, can you even take the second and third offer?
Well,
and
according
this
to
is why we
Narstie-
need to learn
Nah,
what's
wait,
really cracking so that we know our worth.
bro.
For real.
Can we just deep that in that interview, he started off getting offered 8k. He said, now let me see the budget. It went up to something else, 12k. He said, now let me see the budget. It ended up at 24 something.
Blood.
It tripled. At this point, if I'm sitting at the table, I know how negotiations work. But at this point, by the 4th offer, I'm actually gonna do the job, but I'm
Yeah.
actually insulted now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably not going to want to.
I'm gonna do the job because this is my bag and like this is my well-being, my life,
It's
my.
just a piss take.
But in the back of your head, you'll be doing that show thinking, you thought I was a dickhead, innit?
Yeah, but
That-
the,
You thought I was
the
a
only
dickhead?
reason why they got away with it before, the world has changed.
Yeah.
Before, there wasn't as much access to information
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
had before. We couldn't easily communicate with each other to get people that have gone through the process. So now it's easy to access education in like, you know, business and contracts. You can look up contracts. You can
Yeah.
look
Very
up
true.
law.
Yeah.
rules.
Very true.
So that's the difference between then and now, is that you can actually question it because you understand more.
Yes.
Yes.
Before, or you can talk to someone that does understand.
Yes.
Even if you don't understand.
This
That's the
talking to
difference.
someone that understands it is key.
Yeah.
And you know what else is key? Normalizing, sharing information about
Yeah.
your situation.
Yeah.
In Britain, and I don't know if it's the same in the US, but in Britain, there's a stigma around talking about your salary.
Yes.
And they want it to be that way.
Yeah, they want to keep
Because they actually want you to be secretive with each other so that they can offer him 20k
That foolishness.
and offer him 40 without either of you knowing.
Yeah.
It's true, you know.
And in the industry, in the music scene, it's no different. If that artist comes into the game and gets offered a deal, if that artist was brave enough to go to the previous artist who works in that label and say, what did you get for your... And then that artist is comfortable enough and helpful enough to be like, okay, so I got this,
Yeah.
but they first offered me this.
Yeah.
So when you go into that room, do not take
Yes.
anything less than this.
Yes.
Especially with your social media following and your this, that and the other and your influence and power.
that.
Do not take anything less than this. We need to normalise that.
Yeah.
Because in Britain it's so cloak and dagger.
It's not just Israel, like you said, it's everywhere, innit? So that's how they do. The less you spend on salaries, the more you get in bonus. That's it.
Oh wow.
That's it. It's like that with companies. That's why when at the moment with this current situation in the economy, the first thing that companies do is cut salaries and staff.
Oh yeah,
because if they cut anything else, it's going to sacrifice their own paycheck.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Whereas cutting salaries but getting the job done same way is
It's the best
seen
way.
as well done, sir.
Yeah.
Well done. So let's see what else Wiley's got for us. Wiley's on job, you know.
That's
I've got one from 6 hours ago, one from 37 minutes ago. Let's hear what. It's half an hour
One day
ago.
I was minding my own business, you know, and one of my guys said to me, the manager, not even one of my guys, the manager said to me, "Why don't you do a boiler room? Why don't you do a boiler room?" I said, nah, I'm good. The next year come, "Why don't you do a boiler room? Why don't you do a boiler room? Skepta's done it." No, I'm good. I don't care about no boiler room. I'll just go and do what I'm doing. Fast forward to 2020, you know. I was talking to a boiler room brother. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what we spoke about, but we had a conversation. And then fast forward to now, this very moment. The other day, boiler room got given 800,000 from the Arts Council. Now do you understand what I'm saying? We're grime, you know? But you will tell me to go on boiler room. Why are you telling me to go on boiler room for? What, so you can earn them money? Are you lot dumb? You lot better wake up, because all these little leeches, bruv, wake up. This is the saddest part as well. Do you know why people want to go on boiler room? Because they've sat here, they've built up their subscribers, they get views. Remember, grime was here before boiler room, you know.
Facts.
But they get so you want your thing on boiler room, so it gets views.
I spoke about this yesterday.
And then the boiler room look good, and then you ain't even got a house or a car, but you're on boiler room. What the f are you doing on boiler, bro? You lot, listen. Some people are worried about all the wrong things.
Yes.
Preach.
And that is one of them. All these leeches who sit back and watch what we're doing and then plug in to get paid.
And I hate this.
Yeah.
I loathe this shit. Like, how did we get right here?
Boiler room. Never going on boiler room.
I hear
ever
that,
again,
Wiley.
anyhow. Way. You know why? Why am I going on boiler room to make them money?
I hear that. I have an issue. I was talking about this yesterday, about artists that have their own following and then they'll post their shit on GRM and link up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now maybe they're looking at it thinking, oh, but this will get me the extra attention that I need. But I feel like you should be putting that work into your own shit.
To building. Okay, so let's break that down. Everybody wants success yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, like
I saw a tweet saying, I've been doing music for 4 days, why am I not famous yet?
Don't piss me off today. Are you serious?
No, but this is the mindset. Like, no one's trying to build and take 5, 6, 7, 8 years to build a network like GRM. When I could just fling it on GRM and make use of their how many 0.2 whatever million.
Yeah, but that power can make them selective then. You're given the power to certain
100%.
few. Do you get me?
3.36 million subscribers.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's hard to look at that and not be like
neglect it as a output. Is output that one of them?
It does take slower to build your own following.
Oh
yeah, of course it does.
Innit?
I think it's this.
It depends what kind of artist you are. Are you a kind of artist that has talent, or you're the kind of artist that just wants to make money and just fling anything out there? Depends what kind of artist you are, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that.
But then you could argue as well that the artists that do have talent don't get anywhere, but then they could if they're still consistent, but you need to just keep banging out the bangers.
Consistency is key.
Consistency
100%.
is key.
I feel like at this point, early stages, you probably would use these outlets to help you, like, push you along.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the most part, once it's given you a little boost, because we have the consistency,
Yeah.
and we know that that's key. You can carry on
Yeah, but I think
with that.
you're forgetting that little boost you get from them is like they got a fishing line and they hook you. You can't just swim away, you know.
Why can't you?
'Cause they don't work like that.
So if I drop 2 videos on GRM and I think that by the 3rd one I'm a popping artist, you don't
Yeah.
think that I could drop that on my own channel?
I
3rd
think
one.
you would keep doing it, but what my point is, once you do it on there and you get all them extra views, you're gonna keep trying to do that.
You think because you're going to chase
You
that
get
same,
hooked. Yeah, you get
same
hooked.
level
Then-
of
because then you could
interest.
The numbers.
Yeah, you put it back on yours, it's not gonna be as much, is it?
She's not wrong, you know.
Do you know what I mean? So you're gonna
It's
be
whether
This
you're
is
willing to
something
take
that
that drop.
I'm willing
that
to
temporary
take that drop.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, but you don't know until you get into that situation. Though.
I would like to think then that I would be willing to take
obviously.
that drop.
So when you think about boiler room, because even things like gasworks,
Is this why Poet ain't on there no more?
Poet and Alhan have stopped gasworks on boiler room.
You see, this is where I got, when he was talking about boiler room, I was thinking of gasworks, but forgetting that gasworks was called gasworks.
Yeah,
Boiler room, generally, are they on the scene? They focus on our scene.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
This makes even more sense to me now then.
yeah. Boiler room is a channel.
Yes.
To do, like-
And then gasworks is on there, innit?
Yeah.
Okay, then I forgot about that shit.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it's like you look at a talent like Poet,
Yeah.
and you look at a talent like Alhan, and it makes sense that they've gone onto boiler room because boiler room's for the culture.
Yeah.
But when you deep it like how Wiley's deeped it,
Yeah.
that's boiler room profiting off
Yes.
of Poet and Alhan's talent.
Yes.
When Poet and Alhan really could start up their own channel
Exactly.
and everybody would watch.
That.
But it's not to take away. You know what? Yeah, because I would say the success of Gasworks was nothing to do with the fact that it was on boiler room.
Agreed.
Like nothing.
I remember when I first saw something and I was like, oh, look them up. I thought, this isn't what I was looking for. So I was going to come off it, and then I went back on again, and I was like, okay, stop being lazy. I'm looking properly, and I'm like, oh. So Boiler Room aren't the ones who are providing this content. It's kind of an attachment to Boiler Room. Does that make
Boiler
sense?
room is the platform.
Yeah, that I was trying to think of the right wording.
Yeah. That's all they
And I
are.
was like, I don't want to follow you lot. I just want to follow
I just wanna,
Gasworks.
yeah,
you
I
get
want to
me?
follow Gasworks.
That
not
part there.
boiler
You can
room.
do that.
Do you get me? Because
have
their
to
shit
follow.
was good, man.
Yeah, I loved Gasworks.
But then that's like what I said. You need to unhook that hook. Bro.
But I don't think it would be hard to unhook, though. It comes back to that said thing.
I don't know, because you know what I think it comes down to? What did you agree to when you
That's
first
a
got
good,
hooked?
that's a
another
good
thing
question.
as
That's
well.
a
That's
very
what I'm
good
trying to
question.
say, like-
Did you agree that Gasworks belonged
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
to
fucked. You think
boiler
about the
room?
contract, they're fucked.
You know, like that? Because now that I've left, can I even call it Gasworks?
I was thinking they're not going to be able to. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Depending on what they've
You
agreed.
need to think
Yeah.
about. That's what I said. You need to think when you go for that little fish bait.
Yeah.
You need to think about what comes along when you get pulled up to the surface. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to think about what's up there. I think the
Yeah,
key
you
is
just gotta make
education. isn't it?
100%
Educate
education
yourself so you understand.
before you sign anything, before you
Yes.
agree to
Yeah.
anything. Educate
100%.
yourself on what everything actually means.
And if you don't want to educate yourself, get someone in your camp that is educated within.
I mean, I would recommend doing that before you even think that you know everything.
Yeah.
Even when you think you know everything, you get someone who specialises in reading this stuff.
This goes back to Big Narstie. He's got a team. They wasn't expecting him to have a whole f***ing team.
It's true.
But they learned, innit?
They thought Narstie was just going to bowl through.
Yeah. They looked at him for this hood guy. We can do whatever the
Yeah.
ras we want with this brother.
Wow.
Is that his last video?
That there.
There's another one, him talking about chasing status.
Why is he talking about chasing stuff?
Don't know, he's ranting again. I mean, he's the gift that keeps on giving. He's ranting again. He's more active now than when he had all his socials. Like, bless him.
Because now people want to see what he has to say.
And we're tuning in. Like,
Yes, man.
we've got a lot to say and we've got the time to hear it, man.
That part.
So, 48 minutes ago.
Martin,
Listen, you see when you're popping and you're minding your own business and everyone loves you, and then someone like Chasing Status wants a feature, you know you're meant to say no. You're meant to say no. You know why you're meant to say no? Because these people like Chasing Status who are asking you for a feature, they can benefit more from you featuring for them, more than you can for them giving you a beat, and they won't give you a beat anyway.
Subscribe to this thing.
You're just helping them.
Just bet gems after
That's
gems
what it is.
after
It's a
gems.
setup. It's a setup, man.
You know.
It's a f***ing setup. I can't believe it took me.
And you hear the
20
passion in his
something
voice as
years
well.
to see.
20 years to see
I
it.
swear to God.
I like Wiley,
yeah.
like
He hits the nail on the head there.
he
doesn't
does, like nobody can tell me this guy's on drugs.
No, he's not.
Nobody can tell me that he doesn't chat sense. He may not be as articulate as some of the other people we listen to.
Well, maybe
and
Stormzy doesn't see the bigger picture right now. Look what he said. It took 20 years
for him to
Stormzy.
see.
Look where Stormzy started. Look where Stormzy is now. So for him, he's like, well, I'm making money, innit? But he's making money. Imagine all the people behind Stormzy at the top.
Yeah.
These people are making
Wow, you're not wrong.
mad money. Stormzy's making this much and they're making this much.
Yeah.
True.
But obviously for Stormzy, this much is a lot.
Yeah.
I think Wiley just looks at things literally from like the crazy uncle perspective. Like the uncle that is probably an alcoholic, but if you listen to him long enough,
There's facts in
there's
there.
like facts in there like for days because he's lived, like he really has
Yeah.
lived.
He's
And
got
I think
that
he looks at
experience.
Stormzy and he's like, oh, like
went
he
through
didn't. I went through that. I can see what road you're going
Yeah.
down, and you've got more success than me probably at that age.
Yeah.
But I can see what traps you're going into. I remember
Yeah.
one time he did like a passionate rant about like him doing a song with someone.
Yeah.
Little Mix maybe, or someone commercial, and he was like, you didn't need to do that. Like he was so like, why did you do, like,
Yeah.
don't you realise that it's you? Like, don't you realise that you're the guy? Don't you realise that people should be coming to you? You don't have to conform to that genre.
Yes.
You don't have to do that. And he's right, these little kids out here that are going and buying festival tickets to see Stormzy aren't trying to see him do a feature with Little Mix.
Yeah, exactly.
They want him in all his hoodness,
Yeah.
all that road glory. Like,
Yeah. Did he really do the track with Little Mix?
yeah, he's on
Yeah,
track with Little
lie.
Mix. Power, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a feature on Power.
That's mad.
I can't remember how it goes. I was just about to
Yeah. Did you like it?
I don't really like
Oh, you want an answer?
I need to know because I know how I feel about
Little Mix?
corny /
Do you like
commercial
No, but
shit.
do you like Little Mix?
Do I like Little Mix?
Do you have their album on Spotify?
Look me in my eyes and ask me one more again. If I like Little Mix.
in January.
you just say
little? In January
Yes, I did.
2021, will it be on your
Little
playlist when they do their
Mix.
favourite?
Look, I can't even kiss my teeth, my mouth's
I'm
dry,
gonna
you
get you a
know.
Little Mix advent calendar this year.
Listen, guys, let me tell you something right now. Yeah? I don't want to see no Little Mix calendars or anything else of the sort at my yard. I don't want to see nothing through that letterbox
Why am I going to go to your
because I will then send you a recording of it getting ripped up and dashed in the incinerator
I think Little Mix do their thing for their culture.
for their culture, and I'm
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
with that, but that just ain't for me, bro. They've done sick. That I haven't followed, but I've seen a couple things. I'm like, yeah, you lot are on bit still.
But then I
that's
think
just
what
not
Wiley's
for
trying
me.
to say, what, you don't need to do that.
You didn't. He
Now
didn't
I
need
hear,
to go.
I hear this fully.
So the rants, there's gems in the rants, man.
If you think about it, Stormzy would actually have a lot to learn from Wiley if he opened his mind.
Yeah. I think also as well, if he phrased things a little bit better for people not to get ignorant before he's got his
Yeah.
message across, I think that would make a difference as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But he has his way in it, so it's kind of like trying
What-
to pick the gems out.
At the end of the day,
Certain
But
time.
Wiley has a way of teaching you something whilst insulting you.
yeah.
Yes, and I feel like this is why the people who were trying to teach ain't trying to listen because
trying
they're
to
just
hear that.
That's a
hearing.
Big Brother thing, isn't it? That's what Big Brother's.
You're a stupid boy, Stormzy. And you're like, by then you've checked out. And like anything you say after that, I'm just like,
You switcher?
You're
Edit.
If someone don't approach
The
you,
alcoholic uncle blood.
yeah.
If the alcoholic uncle starts his story with why back in my day we used to smoke 2 crack and
In between the messages.
like literally like, and he starts with like, yeah, I used to smoke crack back in my day.
How did he get right
it was lit, and then he goes into his gems.
Nobody ain't trying to hear that, blood.
I'm not trying to hear the gems after you told me you was a crackhead uncle. So
Ain't nobody trying to hear that stuff.
But yeah, moral of the story. There you go. Mate.
Wait. Moral of the story.
boom.
Boom. I'm so mad. I feel like we must end it there now.
Done in it. She just dead it off the thing.
Dead and dead.
Toodles.
That part.
What is this?
Oh, it's an isofix point.
It's not nice.
It's basically for what's it called? You're gonna crash into the fence, love.
Did you see what I did
When?
when I was parking up behind you?
Nah.
Did you hear?
Did you check your rims? What did you do, blood?
This isn't on, is it? Is this
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
I ain't incriminating myself.
Drop
no more. I can't, blood. But let me
did you
tell
do,
you
blood?
something.
You scraped the rims
Nah, I didn't scrape the rims, but I did something. I scraped something.
on someone else's.
Nah, I can't. I don't know what's too much to be saying.